Hi everyone and welcome to a new PoE video. I'm Koshido and today I'm gonna share with you my Mage Skeleton Necromancer Leaguestarter. The build is based around the jewel Dead Reckoning, which makes our skeleton mages, and we are scaling the damage of those mages. With skeletons we are also using other minions like zombies, specters, Animate Guardian and Summon Stone Golem. And as defensive mechanics we have high armor, high life, and we cap the block and spell block chance. The playstyle is pretty simple. We are using summon skeletons and convocation to move minions around, and to boost our single target damage we have a Kursk and Val summon skeletons. I've played this build in the last league and it was very fun and very strong. I've been able to clear all the content without any problems, and with some investment you can also farm simulacrums. In this guide I'm gonna cover everything from the leveling to the endgame before getting the Dead Reckoning, to the endgame after getting the Dead Reckoning, and how you can further improve your build. I also have a video coming up on how you can level any minion build from the beginning, and I will cover the leveling in more detail in that video. Let's jump into PoB. Here we have the leveling trees. Level 80 Uberlab is the last one before going into mages. You are using melee skeletons here. If you happen to pass level 80 without finding a Dead Reckoning, you can start investing on cluster jewels because they are the same in both build. Eventually, if you don't want to, you can invest into life nodes here and respec later. Here we have Mage without any cluster. I've only added this medium cluster jewel because it's very important to get Blessed Rebirth. Minion created recently can't be damaged. This is 4 seconds, recently is 4 seconds, and this is very important to make your DPS consistent. So aim for this jewel first. Then we have Mage with 1 cluster jewel. We have a cluster jewel with Call of the Slaughter, Distinct Fiends, and Renewal. And again, the medium cluster with Blessed Rebirth and Renewal in this case. Here I have Endgame 2. I'm gonna discuss this later. This is a build with 2 cluster jewel, and this is the tree I used for farming Simulacrum, but I'm gonna discuss it later. Let's look at the gems. Here I have the melee endgame setup. This is before the Dead Reckoning. Then we have Mage's endgame setup after the Dead Reckoning, and then I have a leveling section. I'm gonna discuss in detail the leveling process in my upcoming minion leveling video, but just so you know, we start by the Holy Flame Totem, a level 4, level 8 Summon Raging Spirit, and at level 18 we do the switch to full minion build. So it's pretty fun leveling with this build. Let's look at the melee endgame setup. Here we have skeletons with multi-strike, minion damage, impale, brutality, melee physical damage. You can swap melee physical damage for predator if you want. This gives you a way to make your summon skeletons focus a target. Then we have specters plus zombie with minion life and meat shield. Then we have utility, Flame Dash, Convocation, Assassin's Mark with life tap, so we are paying life instead of mana. 3-link, Summon Carrion Golem, Maim, Feeding Frenzy. Then we have 3-link, the Trigger Wand with Desecrate, Life Tap, and then 1 Offering. You can use Flesh Offering for more damage and Bone Offering for more survivability. This is important. In the Trigger Wand, Desecrate needs to be on top because the triggers goes from top to bottom, so you want to have Desecrate before the Offering. Next we have Dread Banner with Generosity, and then we are using Determination and Pride. If you want, you can remove Pride and use Summon Skitterboss and or Precision or Vitality, low level, your choice. With this gem setup and the level 83, you should be able to reach 2 million DPS, which is enough to push you through the Atlas and gather some currency to buy a Dead Reckoning and move on with the build. Now let's look at the Mage Skeleton setup. We have Summon Skeleton with minion damage, Spell Echo, increase critical damage, and then we have Hypothermian and Slower Projectiles for single target damage, Pierce and Volley for mapping. If you don't want to swap gems, you can go with Hypothermia and Pierce and do mapping and bossing with those. Moving on, we have Auras. We are using Tempest Shield, Determination, Vitality, Defiance Banner. Here I have a Purity of Elements. I'm gonna explain you later why. Utility Minion, we are using Specters, Zombie, Animate Guardian with Minion Life. If you don't want to use Animate Guardian, or if you are waiting good gear for him, you can use Elemental Army instead. Then we have 2-link plus 2-link, we have Summon Stone Golem with Feeding Frenzy and Zealotry with Generosity. And 3-link, Bone Offering Trigger, Desecrate, Bone Offering Life Tap. As before, Desecrate on top. It needs to be triggered before the offerings. Then tree link, we have Sniper's Mark, Pain Dash with Life Tap, and then Unset Ring with Convocation. If you don't have the Unset Ring, you can, if you have enough mana, you can remove Life Tap from here, or eventually, if you don't have mana, you can remove Generosity from here, or you can drop one aura like Defense Banner or Vitality. Let's look at the gear. Here I have several sets. The entry level is just Life and Res. We have a Essence Crafted Wand and the Reanimator Helmet. There is a recipe for these in the notes. Then we have the budget set with a Convoking Wand, +1 and minion damage. We have a Shaper Influenced Shield with Life on Block. We have a Bone Helmet with +2 minion gems and crafted +1 skeletons. The +1 skeletons is from June, so you need to do Betrayal and Unveil it. Then we have a Flesh Crafter. If you have a 5-link Flesh Crafter, is more than enough for the beginning. We have Gloves we crafted with the Essence of Fear. We have Alberon's Warpath. They should be pretty cheap. Then we have Amulet with the +1 maximum number of skeleton, which is an Elder mod. I won't be spending that much on these because we want to buy the Ashes of the Star, as Amulet is perfect for our build. And we can anoint Tetsudo here, which gives us a block chance. Rings, we are just Life and Res. You can benchcraft something useful. We have a Stingent Vice as belt because it gives us the possibility to use a Ghastly Eye Jewel. The Ghastly Eye Jewel are a good way to improve our damage. The mod we are looking for is Life for ourselves, increase minion damage, and increase minion damage when we use a minion skill, minion cast and attack speed, and minion added damage in this order. Okay, let's look at the endgame gear. Here we have a +2 Convoking Wound with minion damage and trigger. We have a Shaper Armor Base Shield with Life on Block, Chance on Block, Max Life, good mods. Helmet, we are using a Bone Helmet +3 Socketed Minion Gems. We can craft +1 maximum number of skeletons. And if it is an Elder Influence, we can also roll supporter gems here, so making our helmet basically a 5-6 link. We can also get the Lab Enchant. Skeleton deals 40% increased damage, which is a big boost of our DPS. Then we have Flesh Crafter with good corruption. This is a good example of upgrading the armor. Gloves, we can get a Redeemer Gloves to get the minions deal 40% increased damage. Then we can have the Alberon's Warpath with a good corruption. Ashes of the Stars is the best amulet we can get. Try to get one with max increased reservation efficiency of skills. Then we have rings. We can roll minion damage on rings with the Redeemer mod and also with Delve. Then we have Belta. The unique Stingent Vice is awesome for us because it allows us to use 2 Abyssal Jewel. And as a Flask, we are using Rumi Concoction. And even with a minimum roll Rumix Concoction, we are able to cap our block and spell block chance. Regarding the jewels, we are using Fortress Covenant, Quickening Covenant. Remember to socket these on your cluster jewels so you get no diminishing return, and of course the Dead Reckoning. And then we have one last set of items. This is Endgame 2 and goes with the passive 3 Endgames 2, and this is for Simulacrum farming. This is similar of what I used in the last league to farm Simulacrums. The difference between the two endgame sets is written also here in the endgame gear and in Simulacrum farming. Basically, we changed the shield. We are using this render, which should be cheaper than a well-crafted Shaper armor shield, and it gives us the same thing: high block chance, recover life on block. To recover 250 life on block with a Shaper base, you need to have 5k life, which may be hard to achieve. This also gives us up to 120 maximum life, a lot of armor, is a very strong shield. The other difference is the Bone Helmet. You can use other base than Bone Helmet because we are going to use the Eldritch Orb to get mana reservation efficiency of skill in the helmet. In this way, we can actually use the Purity of Elements here by removing Vitality, and we have enough mana to cast our skills, and we got Element Immunity, and we also free up some mod space to get some Chaos Resistance in our gear so we can reach the Chaos Res cap, which is mandatory for Simulacrum farming. Regarding the tree, here we have two clusters because we are going also to use a mana reservation efficiency on one of our big auras. In this case is Zealotry, and this comes from a small cluster jewel. Other than that, we are using a Watcher's Eye with reduced extra damage from critical strike, which is required to do the last few waves of the Simulacrum. And in order to be able to use the Quickening Covenant and the Fortress Covenant, we need to use another cluster jewel. Everything I just said is also written here in the note section and game gear Simulacrum farming. I also have other sections like leveling tips, specters, alternative gems, and Animate Guardian. Let me talk a little bit about the Animate Guardian. If you're using the Animate Guardian on this build, please be careful because the Flesh Crafter converts 2% of max life to energy shield every 1% of chaos resist our minion have. This means that if our Animate Guardian has 50% chaos res, he instantly dies, and he starts at 20% base chaos res. So you need to give him 30% chaos res to kill him. To solve this problem, we can avoid giving our Animate Guardian chaos res and let the Flesh Crafter convert 40% of his max life to energy shield. And maybe we can use the Mask of Stitched Demons combo to give him life regen based on how much energy shield he has. So he will get a lot of life regen. We can also use the Oscar to reduce the chaos res he has, and maybe a Doppelganger Guide, which gives him a reduced chaos damage taken. But I can tell you this is not required because in the last league I farmed the Simulacrums with a Leer Cast as an helmet and with a crafted armor with max life as an energy shield. And here there are several budgets for your Animate Guardian, from high budget to mid budget to very budget, and there are also other alternatives that may be useful in some situations. And that's it for the build. If you want to know how to level any minion build, I have a step-by-step video guide coming up within a couple of days, so don't miss it. If you have any question, please feel free to leave a comment down below. I will do my best to answer as fast as possible. You can also catch me live on twitch.tv/Kushido. I will be playing this build in Leaguestarter, so feel free to jump and ask your question there. Thank you very much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video, subscribe if you want more content like this, and remember, stay safe, Exile.